Alright, this clip of Joe Rogan just pissed me off, but the onus is now on us to thoroughly debunk this. So we can put Joe Rogan on the list of people who have sold out our country for Donald Trump, right below Elon Musk and right above Tim Pool, who took $500,000 a month from Russia, was exposed by the DOJ, and then said this in a clip.
This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine.
Friend of the show, Brett Micella says, and I ask, does this sound like somebody being paid by Russia to you? It absolutely does. And this brings us over to Joe Rogan, who is not only eating up Russian propaganda, lapping it up, but then spewing it to his millions and millions of impressionable followers. He's acting like he knows something, but he reveals in this clip that he doesn't even read past the headlines. He doesn't even read the full headlines. He literally just repeats the last piece of Russian propaganda that he heard. And I want you to keep in mind before I play this. Everything he says strips Ukraine of its sovereignty and strips Russia of any blame. So before I play this first clip, Russia was the one who unilaterally invaded Ukraine in 2022. Vladimir Putin has repeatedly shown imperial ambitions. In 2008, he invaded Georgia. In 2014, he invaded Crimea. In 2022, he invaded Ukraine fully, and he's not going to stop after that. Vladimir Putin is the one who is a warmonger. It's not hard to tell he's a terrible person and Russia is a dictatorship. And what Russia does is they try to weaken the conscience of the American public. See, a democracy thrives when the people who live in it are strong and informed, but a dictatorship thrives when the people living inside of it are weak and scared. So what Vladimir Putin has been doing is waging an intentional war on the minds of American citizens. Now, he's not waging a ground war in America. He's doing the ground war in Ukraine, but he's waging an invisible war against Americans, and Joe Rogan is a straight pawn. Elon Musk is a straight pawn. America is currently losing the second Cold War that isn't official, but it is a Cold War right now of disinformation. I think that Russia is winning, and this clip proves it. I'd like to play this clip, and I'd like to thoroughly debunk everything that he says. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. I'll quit yapping, but just remember, Ukraine is a sovereign nation, and Joe Rogan keeps stripping that sovereignty away.
Oh, I feel safer knowing that Trump is in office.
I do too.
I feel great about it.
What I don't feel safer is right now they're launching missiles into Russia.
Yeah.
How are you allowed to do that when you're on the way out? Like, the people don't want you to be there anymore. There should be like some sort of a pause for like significant actions that could potentially start World War III. Maybe that would be a good thing that we would like to avoid from a dying former president.
Okay, we are trying to avoid World War III. That is exactly why we provide Ukraine with weaponry. So Joe Rogan says, quote, they're launching missiles at Russia. How are you allowed to do that? There's a lot wrong here. First of all, Ukraine is not recklessly launching missiles. They are targeting military infrastructure, and this is the first time they've actually had the ability to do that with American equipment. Russia is the one that has been unilaterally bombing the shit out of Ukraine for years. Bomb after bomb after bomb in Ukraine, but then Ukraine fires back one time. Ukraine fires back one or two times, and now Joe Rogan is freaking the hell out. And it's really funny because Vladimir Putin very intentionally launched back this rocket. It's a new, unique type of rocket that has the ability to carry a nuke because Vladimir Putin likes to have a monopoly on the escalation. He likes to be the one that uses escalatory rhetoric. He likes to be the one that threatens nukes. But Vladimir Putin would never actually do that. And anytime the West begins to use escalatory rhetoric, hey, if you do that, we'll fire back, we'll nuke you back, then all of a sudden people like Joe Rogan lose their effing mind. So again, they're allowing Vladimir Putin to have a monopoly on the escalatory rhetoric here, and in doing so, they strip Ukraine away from any of their sovereignty, and they ignore the fact that Russia has probably shot 10 times as many rockets in Ukraine as the other way around. So just keep that in mind, and let's keep going.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is nuts.
I mean, look, I don't know shit about politics.
Zelensky says Putin is terrified. Fuck you, man. Fuck you people. You fucking people are about to start World War III.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Russia fired a missile today.
I feel like they fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time ever.
Okay, so I forgot about the World War III part. I meant to debunk that as well. World War III would happen if Vladimir Putin has the ability to just take land and never get checked by our international order. For example, when he tried to invade Georgia, and then when he successfully invaded Crimea, he grabbed these territories and he's slowly just grabbing land. So if there's a reality where Vladimir Putin was able to walk into Ukraine and take it with no pushback, what happens when he takes the next country? In the next country, he has imperial ambitions. That is how World War III starts. Putin is trying to scare people in the West by using this rhetoric, and it absolutely works on people like Joe Rogan. So let's reframe this. The real risk of World War III comes from unchecked authoritarian aggression. It doesn't come from a small country defending itself from authoritarianism. Let me say that one more time. The real threat of World War III comes from unchecked authoritarianism, like that comes from Russia or China, or I guess now Trump.
First time one of those has ever been used.
That's insanity.
It's fucking insanity, because those intercontinental ballistic missiles can have nukes on them. This one didn't.
That is true that they can have nukes, but it's false that the first time this has ever been used. This is not the first time. Russia used this for the first time in a new, unique way, and it's because Vladimir Putin is, again, trying to scare people in the West. From what I've read, it seems like Vladimir Putin was kind of saving this specific missile, waiting, just so that he could shoot it and have it not really strike anything big, and then the media, all of the usual suspects, people like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk would then boost that and say, World War III is going to start. Let me continue. Let me finish the clip.
But if it does, the whole world changes. And it changes because of the military-industrial complex, and it changes because of the money that's going to Ukraine, and it changes because the outgoing president or whoever the fuck is actually running the country has decided to do something fucking insane.
Yeah,
fucking insane. And we're all sitting there watching it, and people are cheering it on.
Dude, you know what's insane is North Korean troops going to Russia, Russia mobilizing North Korean troops against Ukraine, and then people like Joe Rogan not even bringing that up as an escalatory path. Sorry.
CNN was saying, like, finally, see what their headline was about Zelensky about Biden giving Zelensky the ability to use long-range missiles. U.S. made long-range. It's not like nobody knows where they came from. It's not like nobody knows we've been funding this. It's a proxy war. The whole thing is fucking insane. It's insane. Come to the negotiation table. Sit down. Work this out. Stop killing everybody. U.S. allows Ukraine to use long-range missiles. So what did they say?
He's looking for a headline. He's looking for a headline here that he read. He read a CNN headline.
Someone had said that, like, CNN was saying that it was a good thing.
Wait, someone said that CNN had said. Let me listen to that one more time.
What did they say? Someone had said that, like, CNN was saying that it was a good thing.
Joe Rogan heard someone else say that CNN had said that this was a good thing. He didn't actually read the headline himself. He's not even a headline reader. That's too much work for Joe Rogan's monkey brain.
Which I think is how has the left gone so far crazy that they think it's a good thing to launch missiles?
Oh my lord. Russia is the one that has launched missile after missile after missile into Ukraine, and Ukraine gets the ability to fire back with American military equipment once. It's been like a week since Biden made this decision, and Joe Rogan is literally falling hook, line, and sinker for Vladimir Putin's attempt to have a monopoly on escalatory rhetoric. I'm going to keep saying that because when Vladimir Putin is the only one who is allowed to use escalatory rhetoric and not get checked, that leaves the West powerless.
That's what's scary about life is, like, you don't want to pay attention to that shit. You just want to live your life. You want to just be carefree and have fun and do the thing that you're passionate about. And meanwhile, the world is burning.
That's what the Ukrainian citizens want, man. They just want to live their lives and their cities are burning. And again, if we lived in a strong democracy with an informed populace, and we could go day to day without worrying about shit like this, but we don't.
And you can't do anything about it. It's like, at that high level, it's like there's nothing.
Well, we can. We voted Trump in, and his idea is to stop all this shit, and hopefully he can do that.
His idea is to stop all of this shit. It's just such a simplistic view of the world. Do you think that if Biden had a magic wand, he would stop the war in Ukraine and give Ukraine their land back? Absolutely. It's not that simple. Trump is the one who made the promise that 24 hours after being inaugurated, the wars would all be done. That is not true. Even though there was one Newsweek headline that said Hamas is seeking peace, Hamas asks for peace every week in their version of peace. Their peace deal is, hey, give us all of Israel, give us all of the land. So yeah, Russia has successfully convinced the idiots in America, people like Joe Rogan or Elon Musk, they are on the verge of starting World War III. But Zelensky was right when he said that Putin is terrified. Putin is terrified of the West actually using escalatory rhetoric back.
But, you know, man, Fuck. We got 60 more days until Trump gets in or whatever it is. How many days is it, Jamie? But who knows? Maybe once he gets in, they'll ramp it up.
Dude, this guy is just like a drooling idiot at this point. He's literally sitting there counting the days till Trump gets in because he thinks we're on the verge of World War III. What kind of algorithm is Joe Rogan trapped in? Joe Rogan thinks that the world is burning around him and that Trump's going to ascend from the heavens and fix it all. It's just annoying.